What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I know this one's been a little bit further than it should have been. I should have had it in a few days ago. But I've been kind of busy. That's right. We are expanding. I've had a lot going on. MAXX, our little truck, our little single axle truck with the MAXX Force, our little Transstar. It was ready to go on the road last week, but we had a slight problem. The people I bought it from had installed a pressure switch that was wrong, and it was causing the truck to show that the brake was set whenever you had it unset when you were going down the road. So it needed to regen. It don't have the DEF, but it needed a regen. And you couldn't do a regen because when the brakes were not set, when the brakes were set, it was reading that they were not set. So therefore, it would kick back out the regen. That pressure switch and all the hours that it took to get it cost me $1,200. And that's to do the regen, to change the switch, to find the problem, and to make sure there were no other problems with the electrical system, because it had everything going haywire. When we would open the door on the little truck, it would be going beep, 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 beep. And it would do that for like 2 minutes every time you opened the driver's side door. Yeah, that was annoying. And then when I went to get my inspections at the TA, it would, when I went to pull around to the bay, it started spitting and sputtering. Now, it didn't give me no trouble all these months moving around the yard and stuff. But when I finally got ready to take it on the road a little bit and drove it about 45 miles, it did fine until I got ready to pull up to the inspection bay. Then it started spitting and sputtering. The lights did not stay on because of that pressure switch problem. Anyhow, it took all week pretty much. Me and the driver drove together on Monday, and we drove together the Friday and Saturday before Monday. So he was trained for 3 days, and then I was able to turn him loose on Tuesday. But his truck was tore up, so he got to drive my truck all week. He drove my truck all the way to Friday. And we only work Monday through Friday unless there's a holiday in the middle of the week, and then we work the weekend. So, Friday, I got the little truck back. Max was out of the shop, running good, running like a top. Matter of fact, he should be coming in here pretty quick. Today is Monday, and he done finished his first run. He had 3 stops down around New Orleans, and as far as I know, the little truck did great. So Max is on the road and is making us money, and we did manage to get both of our liftgate trailers delivered. So, matter of fact, he's got number 2. Number 1 is in the building loaded, and my swinging door trailer is in the building loaded. And we both have loads to head out in the morning. Since he has the day cab truck, I give him the short ones so he can get back, and he don't have to fight with that too much. He kind of liked my sleeper truck. Like, he wanted to try to keep my sleeper truck. But, this is my baby. I gotta keep my baby. But both the trailers are in good shape. The only problem we had is, it's got those E-tracks in them. And they're a little too high for when we do a return. It's a little bit too high for us to get a strap around them. So we're going to have to go in the bottom and make some strap holes where we can hook our straps from side to side to hold our merchandise on the trailer. Other than that, the lift gates work. The tires look good. They got Bridgestones on them. I did manage to go get the tags. I got them numbered. I'm really happy with our equipment so far. If it'll just hold up until we start getting his checks coming in, it'll be after January the 9th before his checks start coming in, and we start noticing a nice difference. Finally got my ELD cord from Big Road. Don't know what happened on that deal, but it came in the day I got the little truck out of the shop. I did have to run a paper log that one day I went to get the truck and trailer inspected, and it tore up on me, which was, I think, the 3rd. So whenever I went back that Friday and got the truck, I actually had the cord and I got everything hooked up, and we started the E-log in that. And my company is E-log compliant. We are totally ELD compliant. It is a difference from that to from the AOBRD. Your yard move shows you driving around the yard. Where before it just said yard move on duty. Now it actually shows it shows on duty, but on duty driving. Not like plain driving. It don't take away from your driving time for the day. That was the biggest thing that I noticed, because we used our yard move a pretty good bit around here in the yard. But yeah, we are compliant. We're ready for the deadline to roll around. We're still waiting on our fuel card. Something happened. The mail people lost our fuel card. I don't know how, where, but this is the second credit card that has came up missing from the U.S. Postal Service within the last couple months. So this time we got UPS tracking all the way to my mailbox. So hopefully it won't get lost this time around. It's been quite interesting. Right now I'm working on driver files, trying to make sure I got everything and making sure I'm getting compliant so that when I have that 6-month audit, we'll be a little bit more prepared. I don't want any hiccups. I think I worry about that audit, no joke, but I know it's going to be all right. It's just a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of headache, and they make it way more difficult than it should be. And I am a firm believer that they make it so difficult to keep people out of the industry. Because there is money to be made out here in the industry. But you have to be willing to jump through all kinds of hurdles. There's all kinds of red tape and things that you have to get used to working with. It's aggravating. It'll make you go gray and lose your hair early. But as y'all can see from a lot of other people's videos, it's just something that you have to deal with. Now, it has taught me that I will hire a second driver to take my place in my truck before I put on truck number 3. Because when I put on truck number 3, it's going to be around September-ish. When I put on truck number 3, I will be staying at the house, doing paperwork and doing the dispatch from the house, because it's just so much to keep up with. My billing alone takes me at least 30 minutes per load. So that's an hour a day, plus everything else that we have going. So I definitely don't want to put on the 3rd truck until I have my second driver running my truck and I'm going to be at home. I was hoping I might could do it another way, and there's just nobody right now that I can trust to come in and assist me. It's when you're dealing with your invoicing and the way you get paid, that's where I would need help the most. Because once you add that 3rd truck, you're going to add an extra dispatch, an extra load. So it's going to definitely go up to 1.5 hours a day. And then not including your dispatching of all 3 of them. Not including the maintenance if one tears up. Payroll. And, it's taxes, planning. There's a lot that goes into it. Now, I was hoping that I could get up to 4 or 5 trucks before I have to go home and tackle the dispatch. But I don't think it would be wise, because just taking care of these 2 trucks in this transition, I did make one mistake on one of my invoices last week. And I don't appreciate that. I made that mistake. I'm kind of a perfectionist. And I can't stand to make mistakes like that. And it burned me up. And it really made me realize that I was doing too much. I'm staying up too late, running through all the paperwork. And it's not really that I'm worrying about it. It's just that I'm a perfectionist. I want to make sure everything is 100% on board, legal, and ready to go. Somebody comes in and looks at my equipment, looks at my bills, looks at my logs, whatever. I don't want there to be any problems. It's important that when you do something with a level of pride. You're willing to put your name on it. You follow what my dad always said, if you're going to do something, don't half-ass it. Be willing to do it well enough that you're willing to put your name on it, your family name on it, and have pride in what you do. That's the way I was raised. Look, we didn't get everything right, but I believe that's something that they did get right. If you're going to do it 100. Do it 100%. Don't just get out there and halfway do it. Be like, oh, whatever. You know, life is short, and when you do things, you only have one chance to do them the right way. You can always go back and fix some things, but there's some things that you can't go back and fix. And you need to make sure that you do it the right way the first time, and it will save you time and money down the road. Well, that being said, my driver seems to be happy. I mean, he's a good friend of the family. The place he was working had cameras in their trucks facing forward and backward. And they approached their drivers from an accusatory space. They automatically started looking for something the driver was doing wrong. I plan on being someone that's going to support my drivers. Someone that's going to give them a leg up, not try to hold them down, not be accusatory of them, saying that they're always doing something wrong. Now, I'm going to have my eyes open. Nobody's going to mess me around if I can help it. But I'm not going to jump out and assume and accuse them if something happens immediately like his company was. And he seems to be a lot happier now. I mean, the stress is relieved. He don't have eyeballs on him all day. You know, that's one reason why we drive trucks. We don't have somebody over our head all day holding us back. But that's all I'm going to put in this week's video. I'll have some more information and everything going in the next week's. God bless. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next ride.